You're listening to the sounds of the Wate, the world according to Eli.
You are now tuned in to the #1 podcast in the world, The Wate, the world according to Eli. Music, sports, video games, and culture. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the host of our show, Mr. Eli.
Yo, what's up? Welcome to The Wate, and today, I'm your host, Eli. To the right of me is my coach and dad.
What up, podcast world?
What's going on?
Everything is great. How was your weekend, young man?
It was good. I went out with some friends.
Okay.
Partied a little bit.
Oh, partied a little bit. Let's clap that up immediately.
We had some fun. And we watched some football games.
Yes, absolutely. That's our job every week, to bring you guys the latest and greatest in sports, music, culture, highlights. Let's get right down to the nitty-gritty.
So let's go with the Thursday night football game. We had the Panthers versus the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yes.
51-21.
Very disappointed in the Panthers.
Panthers got dooted on.
Yeah, they got smoked.
I thought it was gonna be a little bit more tougher because the Panthers are Panthers.
Yeah, and the Panthers are playing actually very well. They're playing very good football right now. And to go up, they were in Pittsburgh, I'm assuming.
Yeah, they were in Pittsburgh.
Because Pittsburgh is on a roll now. 5 games in a row that they've won.
And the Panthers also won like 5 games in a row. So they were both on winning streaks.
They were both on winning streaks at the time. And Pittsburgh just showed the dominance that they have. They haven't even missed Le'Veon Bell. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Which is fucking ordinary.
Yeah. Sometimes a good defense will box in Cam from time to time where he can't really show his superpowers. He can't turn into Superman because he can't get around and execute. And Pittsburgh is going to be one of those teams that'll be dangerous. And I only say that in particular because they're a veteran squad.
Yeah.
So,
offensively,
when you get these veteran squads that go into the playoffs, very dangerous.
Yeah.
So now I think Pittsburgh is going to add some separation between them.
And right now, they have the #2 seed in the playoff picture.
Right now, okay,
and
technically.
6-2-1.
Right. So they're half a game ahead of the Patriots.
They're half a game ahead of the Patriots, and everybody, kind of getting worried. Do you think they can withstand? Do you think that they can hold this #2 seed?
I'm not sure. I have to look at the rest of their schedule.
Right.
I have to look at the rest of their schedule to tell me what games look like they can win and what games that are going to be trouble for them. We already went over the Patriots' remaining schedule.
Yeah.
Looks good. They're remaining
I do think the
6 games. I think they go 5-1, 4-2.
Right.
At minimum.
Right.
So the Patriots should be able to get that 2nd seed. I'm not sure if anybody gets the 1st seed the way Kansas City is playing.
Right. And they have the talking about Kansas City. They beat the. Give me a second. I believe they beat the Bengals.
Yes.
Right.
They beat the Bengals.
So they're 9-1. They're going against the Rams, who the Rams beat the Seahawks.
Close game there.
So, real quick, talking about the Mexico City game, 9-1, both teams.
Next week.
Next week's
game, you got the Rams against Kansas City in Mexico. Which is a neutral field, even though technically the Rams have the home field advantage technically,
Right, but because it's a neutral field.
Because it's a neutral field, I think that works in the favor of Kansas City.
Right. I like Kansas City's offense is a little bit better than the Rams, especially because they just lost Cooper.
And the way the Rams' defense has been playing lately, a little shaky.
Right. Not the defensive lines, just the secondary.
Right. The 2 games prior to this where the Packers should have beat them.
Right.
And the Saints did beat them.
Right.
They rebounded well. I didn't think they would lose
to the Seahawks?
2 games in a row. That's why I picked them over the Seahawks.
And I did too.
With that being said, I think the Kansas City Chiefs are very poised.
Yeah.
But what worries me is I've seen Andy Reid do this before. I've seen him take a team 13-3, 14-2, and then when the playoff come, something bizarre happens. Like he has a brain freeze.
Right.
And it cost him.
And also, they still have a rookie quarterback. I know he's technically not a rookie because
but he broke the record already for
31
touchdowns.
How many touchdowns is he going to get at the end of the season?
They got 6 games left. 6 times 3.
Or 7, really?
No, they're 9-1. So it's only 16 games in the season. They got 6 games left.
And in week 11, week 12, week 13.
Don't overthink it.
I'm counting on my hands.
It's 17 weeks, but everybody gets a bye. It's 16 games. Right. So 6 games. Let's say he gets 2 touchdowns a game, maybe 3. He can go for 45 touchdowns. 50. He ain't going nowhere near the record. 55 is the record. He's not gonna throw 25 touchdowns.
I'm gonna push for it. I'm gonna push for it now.
It's not gonna happen. That's a lot of touchdowns.
It's 6 to 7 weeks. Like,
no, it's a lot of touchdowns. He'd have to throw for 25 more touchdowns or 24 more touchdowns. He'd have to throw 4 touchdowns a game. That's a lot of touchdowns.
And the offense is explosive.
It's a lot of touchdowns.
Okay. Just explosive offense. His arm though.
Right,
True.
right, absolutely. So I give him 45 touchdowns, which is great for a rookie.
Right.
But all of that goes out of the window once the playoff starts.
Right.
Yeah, everything goes back to 0-0, and you're going to see the best or whatever coordinators have to offer you. However, if you have to go through Arrowhead Stadium,
it does get
very tough place to play.
Yeah, definitely does give them a boost to play.
Right, and now Barry is back on defense. You know what I mean? And Houston. Good. So now they're showing up their defense a little bit.
Right.
They could be the real deal.
All right, let's talk about their rivals, which is the Chargers. They beat the Raiders.
They're flying under the radar too.
6. They are 6-3.
Yes.
The Chargers are the dark horse team in the
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're the ones that's kind of riding under the radar a little bit.
The only team that I'm worried about is the only team they really have a problem playing is the Chiefs.
Right. Are they in the same division?
Yeah.
Okay, they're in the same division. But you deal with that when the time comes. And you have a veteran quarterback.
Right. They play each other in 3 weeks. They're only 1 or 2 games behind them.
Absolutely.
They can try to push for that number 1 spot.
And I want to root for Rivers. You know, he's a good quarterback. He just never has an opportunity because Brady was in the league and Peyton was in the league. And Roethlisberger was in the league. So he kind of fell down
in the 6th spot.
Yeah. So now this will be a great story for him to make some noise.
The Oakland Raiders are 1-8, I believe.
I like what the Oakland Raiders are doing.
I know they have. I mean, I thought first of all going into this year, I didn't think they were going to trade their outstanding players like Cooper, and Khalil Mack. Even though they did get 4 first-round picks for them,
and if they tank this year, they'll earn a first-round pick on their own.
Right.
They can have as many as 5 first-round picks.
Right.
Do you know what that means?
And 2 maybe next year, I believe.
Right, and 2 or 3 second-round picks. That means if they wanted to trade those for a franchise quarterback, they could.
Right.
Or
because I don't think he really likes Derek Carr. I think he just settled on
Derek Carr is
because he's already there.
But here's my thing. I like what they're doing. He's already assessed. We wasn't going to win nothing this year anyway. Right. We're moving to Vegas next year, right? Let's accumulate all of these picks because, come on, Gruden has to be a better coach than that.
Right? That's true. That's very much true.
We watched them 10 years break down games like nobody else can, so we know. But the game plan is chess, not checkers.
Right.
So they're already like, okay, we're going to take these 5 first-round picks. Just think about that. Probably 2 or 3 second-round picks.
But you're not going to,
put a team out there.
Granted, Cooper was a decent wide receiver, but you're not going to find another player like Khalil Mack.
Oh, no, but you can find 4 other pieces to make up for that. I can get 2 wide receivers and 2 linebackers and a quarterback in the draft, and we'll be pretty decent. So, remember, football's the only sport you can go from worst to first.
Right.
So,
and he might be proving that next year.
I think he knows what he's doing. He's got a 10-year deal. He's not going nowhere.
Right.
So, let's just strap on your seatbelt and buckle in because this is going to be a long ride.
Definitely. So, we have the Titans versus the Patriots. 34-10, Patriots
Let's
lost.
clap that up. What's wrong with your team? Is it the lack of weapons? Gronk is out.
No. Gronk, to me, they're lying about that. I don't feel like he's really hurt.
What about Michelle, the running back?
Oh, he is pretty big.
You see what I'm saying? So those 2 pieces.
But Gronk can't play a full 17 weeks
So
anymore.
they're just holding him out.
So they're just holding him out until week 14, week 15.
Because
week 15, he will play against Pittsburgh.
And then get him
pumped up for the playoffs because he's one of those
for the run. Okay.
And the 3 losses that we've already lost were personal.
Right.
The Jaguars, we beat them last year in the AFC Championship game. Mm-hmm. We had to go into Jacksonville to beat them.
Right.
Pat Patricia is our defensive coordinator.
So he showed y'all some things.
Right. And then Deion Lewis and Malcolm Butler on top of the Titans head coach is all
okay, so they have your number a little bit.
Yeah. All 3 of those are personal.
Okay.
Vendettas. They've had to focus on us.
Okay.
Other than that, we're fine.
Okay.
I
7-3. Okay.
I do think we'll come off the bye, win the next 6 games, maybe go 5-1 because of the Pittsburgh game. That's the only game that really worries me.
Okay.
And get that number 2 spot.
So 12-4 should get it done.
12-4, maybe 13-3, and get that number 2 spot. Take it from Pittsburgh.
All right. I'm not going to argue too much with that. I just know that they look pedestrian, and what I mean by that, they just look like any ordinary team. There's nothing scaring me right now, and usually by this point is when they flip the switch. So they're coming out of the bye.
Right. And normally we come off of the bye with a W. So this is
right. So they're going to come out of the bye
a little salty.
And whatever they got to do or going to do, they have to make that move.
So do you feel like this is going to be Bill Belichick's last? Not Tom Brady, but Bill Belichick's
I think Bill Belichick should cash it in now.
And give it to Josh McDaniels?
Give it over to Josh McDaniels. Take a year or 2 off. He never has to coach again. But if he sees a great opportunity because it's in his blood.
And I do think deep down he wants to prove that he's better than Tom Brady.
Well, to me, there's no competition. This is my quarterback. I'm the coach. But the ego, they both want to win without each other. Right. So sort of like when Shaq left the Lakers, he had to win one without Kobe.
The year that Tom Brady tore his ACL, they went 11-5.
Right.
And they somehow didn't win the division.
Right. But they still went 11-5 to show you that Belichick, and it's a combination of both of these guys. Both of these guys exude greatness.
Right.
And it ain't easy being with somebody for 15 years the way that they have, but they've made it work. They're a class personified organization.
Until like the last offseason where all these other rumors came out.
Yeah, well, because you can't keep the lid on all of that forever.
Same thing that happened with San Antonio.
Same thing. Yeah. We saw San Antonio take a black eye, so to speak, with the Kawhi Leonard situation.
Right, so the Titans have won 2 straight.
The Titans.
They're in the hunt.
Yeah, no.
They're 5-4.
They're not going to do anything.
Tell
me who the quarterback is. I'll tell you what they're going to do. Mariota's, he's still got some growing to do. Not saying he's a bad quarterback, but he's not an elite quarterback. Rarely are mediocre quarterbacks leading you to the Super Bowl.
True.
Rarely.
Okay. All right, I try to give you
Foley
a shot.
caught, from the Eagles, caught lightning in the bottle. And I'm not sure he...
Foles,
Yeah, Foles. I'm not sure he's not better than Wentz right now. I don't know.
Wentz has been playing good off of the ACL tear, though.
But they were winning with Foles. That's all I know.
That's true.
Wentz comes back, now they lose. That's all I know.
Okay, so speaking on Wentz and the Eagles, they lost 20-7 against the Cowboys.
Yeah, that was a good win for the Cowboys. I was very impressed.
20-27.
Yeah,
27-20.
I was impressed that the Cowboys could go into Philly, and pull out a win like that. I think Amari Cooper is starting to find his way.
Right.
I also know if Elliott is running, see, I'm gonna jump over that guy.
Yeah.
If he's getting the opportunity to really run, then it makes Dak Prescott, who is
a good quarterback, or a really good quarterback.
He's an average quarterback.
No,
he holds the ball way too long.
What I'm saying is when Ezekiel is running, you make Dak look like a really good quarterback.
Absolutely.
Because one of the Dak's weaknesses is he holds the ball way too long.
Way too long. We were sitting and watching the game last night like, why is the ball still in this guy's hands?
And also too, the Eagles' defense is not as good as it should be. Because on paper, it looks like they were going to make another Seahawk run.
I thought they was going to make exactly one of those runs. And now they're in jeopardy of not even making the playoffs. What are they? 3-5?
I think they're
4-4.
4-5. 4-5.
4-5.
Same thing with the Cowboys. Yeah.
Yeah, that is unacceptable coming off a Super Bowl champion.
But we also said too, we did expect them to win the division, but we did expect them to have a hangover.
But at least win your division. Right. So as to say, we are getting into the playoffs and then have a shot.
Because right now, the Redskins are 6-3.
Right now, they do play the Redskins
Twice.
So if they can beat the Redskins twice, they still don't get the division, but they close the gap.
Right.
So I hope that maybe their season is really banking on we need to beat the Redskins twice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To change the because if you beat the Redskins twice, now you got the same record, and then you obviously own the tiebreaker.
Right.
You know, if everything go right, and once you get in, you get in. So if you get in at 8-8 in that division, who cares?
Give it a tap.
Who cares? You're in, and then you fight. You know, from there.
Right. Browns beat the Falcons 28-16.
The Falcons are an enigma for me. I give the Browns credit.
Ever since Super Bowl 51, thank you for that Super Bowl. Appreciate it.
I mean, even before then, there's one of them teams that play well, and then they have some head-scratching losses.
Yeah.
You go, how do you lose? Now, don't get me wrong. The Browns
are a lot better than this year,
especially from a defensive end. Right. They're a lot better than people want to give them credit for. They fired their head coach.
Right.
They fired their offensive coordinator.
Right.
And now they are in a position they playing with house money. So for the remaining 6 or 7 games.
Next year with a full squad.
And I said if they win 7 games this year, that is a huge
improvement.
Success. That means you won 0 games and you made a 7-game improvement.
And technically, one of their losses was against the Raiders, who only
Dude, 2 of their losses they shouldn't have lost. At least 2 of those games. And then they tied for 2 games or something, or one game or something.
They did.
So they really, with probably better coaching, no disrespect to Hugh Jackson, probably with better coaching, they're in the hunt.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we'll look out for them to do their thing.
Yeah. So Monday, the Saints signed Dez Bryant. Right?
Yes.
I believe. Last Monday, right? Last Monday they signed Dez Bryant, and then on Friday, breaking news, he tore his Achilles.
Yeah, that was really tough.
Because when the Saints signed Dez Bryant, I thought that they were definitely going to go to the Super Bowl with that explosive offense.
Right.
With Thomas on the left, him on the right, and then you had Alvin Kamara coming out of the
backfield,
and
you got a Hall of Fame quarterback. And Dez Bryant is not a number 1 receiver. He wouldn't have had to been.
He could have been a great number 2.
That's my point. Great 2 receiver who can get you that 3rd down conversion. And I too was putting the Saints in that mix because again, tell me who your quarterback is, and I'll tell you if you have a legitimate chance to. And they still may, because they're 9-1 or 8-1.
They're 8-1, yeah.
So they still may have an opportunity.
And I appreciate the team is giving some props this Sunday.
That was nice, but it is what it is. You can't help the team now. So
yeah.
And I'm not sure, as Malcolm was mentioning earlier, how game shape is different than you're working out on your own. You got to get hit.
Yeah.
You got the speed of the game. There's so many other aspects of the game, and in practice he might have been going super hard,
trying to impress. When you already got signed,
I'm speculating he may have just tore it, and it may have just been one of them things. So he's out. His career may be in jeopardy at his age.
Yeah, and
because of all the training that you have to do to get back in shape.
Right.
I hope he saved his money.
Yeah, definitely.
Not the money from this year, because he only got a few million. Overall, when the Cowboys gave him a contract, and he was vying on a big contract, and they was like, we don't see it.
Right.
And Jerry Jones makes a lot of mistakes, but that wasn't a mistake that he made. I give him credit for that, because he never had a star A1 receiver qualities.
I think that catch from Green Bay, the one they said it wasn't a catch, I think if they call that a catch, his career would look different.
Absolutely, because that was a catch, right? And now they reversed the rules back, and now they're calling that a catch.
Right.
And so I do think, but it's just one of those things.
Well, earlier today they did sign Brandon Marshall.
I'm not sure how that's going to work out. Big receiver, but that might just be for insurance.
Right.
Because I'm not sure he can put the
maybe for one big play.
Put the magic right in the box. And see, that's, to me, that's what veterans are for.
Right.
You sign a veteran for a play or 2. You know what I mean? Down the stretch, hoping
trying to get this one.
Right, hoping that they can get
lightning in the bottom.
Absolutely.
Cooper Kupp from the Los Angeles Rams towards ACL.
Yeah.
That's gonna hurt them in the playoffs to me.
Yes.
And he was going down the stretch now.
Yeah, great receiver.
Because the Saints are going for that number 1 spot.
Absolutely, and they're in a race with the Rams. and they already beat the Rams.
Right, and
so the tiebreaker they own. And the number 1 seed makes a difference, man.
And if you gotta go to New Orleans for every game,
that dome where Breeze could light you up for 400 yards, 500 if y'all sleeping.
Right.
That pretty much could be a problem.
But I do think he'll come back. ACL tear,
not this year.
Not this year, but I do think compared to an Achilles tear,
right? The ACL tear, they seem to have the science to
for that.
Kind of get you back on the field for that.
Right. Okay. Let's forget. Okay, Bengals fired defensive coordinator Terrell Austin. He got fired, which means
Marvin Lewis is going to make all the plays or call the plays. Now, keep in mind, he started as a defensive coordinator, so he understands that concept. He can't get fired anyway. What does he worry about?
Right.
Make him the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, head coach, general manager. His job is secure. I don't know what they're doing out there in Cincinnati.
Yeah,
but his job is secure.
I do like them. I don't know if it's gonna be too much pressure though, because it's like making Doc Rivers.
He's not under no pressure.
No, but it's like, isn't it like also making Doc Rivers the president?
Well, the general manager,
and the head coach.
That's a little different because coaching. It's still a coaching position. So a defensive coordinator, he's just gonna.
Oh, that's like making him the general manager and the head coach.
Right. Okay. So this is a little different because the offensive he's the head coach and the defensive coordinator. It's still coaching.
Right.
It's not like making him the general manager and the head coach.
Right.
And speaking of coaching,
the Jets are not planning to fire Bowles
because Todd Bowles, the fans. I expected more out of the Jets this year. I think I did too as well. Yeah. Their quarterback seems to have taken a step back.
Yeah.
Sam Donaldson. And Sam Donald.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah. Sam Donald. He seemed to have taken a step back.
Right. Throwing too many picks.
And I like Todd Bowles, his demeanor.
Yeah. But I love his defensive
But he doesn't have the New York personality.
Right.
To me, you got to have that personality that says, I run this piece. Right. I don't know if he's winning or losing. Whenever I look at his face, they're going to be up 20. He just be sitting right. You know what I mean? So I'm not knocking his IQ.
Right. And I'm not knocking his defensive presence.
Right. But now I think in the offseason, they need to move him to defensive coordinator. No, they need to fire him. You don't demote your head coach to a coordinator and bring in a new coach. You got to just fire him and his staff, and you got to see what's out there available to make the Jets, because the Jets are always mediocre.
Right.
They had a nice
run.
Had
that, they did have that good 2 moments
when
in 09
when Ryan
when they won when they went to the AFC Championship.
Right, 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
That was as close as it was going to get, and that's that.
You're listening to the sounds of the Wate.
All right, on to some NBA news. We are in week 9 of that. It's been
week 9. It's been 9 weeks.
About a bit. I'm not exactly sure. But
that's close enough. Yeah, about 9 weeks.
But so Jimmy Butler, I believe Sunday, got traded from the Minnesota Timberwolves to the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yes.
That is a huge move in the East.
Yes, that is absolutely.
A lot of Western players are going to the East, and a lot of Eastern players are going to the West.
So now the East has gotten stronger.
Yeah.
LeBron
definitely.
leaves the East, and everybody sees the opportunity now to seize the East.
Right, and take that throne like we were talking about.
Right, and take that throne. So beyond the Golden State Warriors, the next 2 or 3 teams, in my humble opinion, are in the East.
Right, and it's the Bucks, Toronto.
My only concern with the Jimmy Butler trade is Embiid is a super duper personality, right?
Right.
And even though, and so is Butler. Ben Simmons seems to be a little bit more laid back. I'm hearing rumors that Ben Simmons and Embiid are not getting along for whatever reasons.
Right.
And now you bring in Butler, very strong personality, who's going to want to get at you.
Either two things are going to happen. Either he's going to fix their issues and make them a really great team.
Well, he's going to make them a better team on the court.
And I'm talking about in terms of chemistry as well.
Right. Chemistry could be an
Or
issue.
it's going to just fall apart once again to the point where it's going to hurt his chances to get a max contract.
Absolutely.
Because this is his last year.
Right. Right.
And when Philly's gonna go from 5 all the way to like maybe 7.
But on
8.
paper,
they should be number 1.
And Boston, the way they've been struggling, we'll talk about that. Right. Philly could easily be the number 2 seed now.
And I heard that they are questioning Fultz's role on the team.
Well, first of all, he's got to be out of the starting lineup. I go back to J.J. Redick because at least J.J. Redick can spread the floor, hit the 3.
So wait, give me your starting 5 from point guard.
Embiid at the point guard, J.J. Redick at the 2.
Wait, you mean Embiid at the center?
I'm sorry. Yeah. Ben Simmons at the point guard.
Okay.
J.J. Redick at the 2.
Right.
Jimmy Butler at the 3. Amir Johnson at the 4. Or Chandler.
Or Chandler, right.
Or Wilson Chandler at the 4. Because he can stretch it. And then Embiid in the middle. And I think that's a very comparable starting 5 to get the job done.
Right.
J.J. Redick is going to knock down them shots. Jimmy Butler is an improved 3-point shooter. And you know he's going to defend on that perimeter, which takes a little pressure off maybe Ben Simmons having to guard somebody. Yeah. Wilson Chandler is another defender. He defends.
Yeah, and Amir Johnson.
And Embiid, it defends.
Right.
So defensively, I don't know if they'll make enough shots because you got to be able to hit some more threes.
No, I do think they will because Jimmy will be their closer.
Okay.
Now, it's not going to be Ben Simmons because Ben can't shoot.
And then you take the pressure off of Fultz by bringing him off the bench.
Yeah, but
and giving him an
I'm
opportunity.
sorry. I'm trading Fultz.
What you going to get for him?
I don't know.
Nobody going to give you nothing for him?
I don't know. I mean,
you seen that shot?
Yeah, it doesn't look pretty. Man.
He was at the 3-point at the free throw line. I was like, what happened to this guy psychologically? Because in college he was balling.
It was a short time, like it was a short span between his college days and the draft.
Well, something psychological going on because LeBron is having some psychological issues as well. We'll talk about that later.
Boston is, I believe, 7-5 right now. They're in the 5th.
7-6.
Right, and they're in the 5th spot. What do
they're
you think?
struggling.
I think it's the Terry Rozier thing.
I don't think. I think they need to remove Gordon Hayward from the starting lineup. To me, Gordon Hayward just doesn't fit. When they traded for him, it looked like a good fit. Now I think you need to put Morris or Smart.
And is it also because when they signed him, it was going to fit? But because he got injured that first game, and they went 81 games without him, built that chemistry.
Right. So to me, he needs to come off their bench. You need to get Smart or Morris into that starting lineup,
right?
Which will make them defensively a little bit better
and a little bit more bigger,
or start Baines and move Al Horford to the 4.
I still think you need to move Terry Rozier because I think he's bumping heads too much with Irving trying to get that number 1 spot, and you're not gonna get it.
Yeah, he's not going to outplay Irving, but they're in trouble. It's early, but they're in trouble, and I think they're going to have to make some kind of adjustments. I expect Bradley will.
Right.
But they better make some kind of adjustment because Milwaukee got better.
Yeah.
Right? Milwaukee has figured some things up.
Hit 8.
He hit 8 threes last night.
13, I believe. Yeah.
And what that means is he adjusted his game because remember Lopez used to just
him and Pau Gasol
slumber down the middle, right?
Because they used to always hit 2s. Now they had to. Now they're being forced to hit 3s.
And he's showing I can hit that. Remember the coach of is Buckholzer,
right?
Buckholz from Atlanta, right? Who did a really good job for Atlanta for a while.
Yeah, definitely.
And now he didn't have a superstar in Atlanta.
Right.
He had a bunch of role players.
But other than that,
no, that's not a superstar.
Well, yeah.
And Greek the Freak is a superstar,
right?
And Middleton don't get a lot of credit. He plays ball.
Right.
Them getting rid of Jabari Parker really solidified Middleton. Remember Malcolm Brogdon and Eric Bledsoe
and Thon Maker, who is like
Thon Maker. These guys are long and they can play ball.
Right.
And Dellavedova. So they're the surprise team in the East right now. Toronto is 12-1,
and they won about maybe 4 games.
And the one game they lost, did your man didn't even play that game.
Right, and it was against the Bucks.
Right, it was against the Bucks where Kawhi didn't play,
and they won 4 games without Kawhi.
So and they won 4 games without Kawhi because he's on a
minute
restriction.
And he's still coming off for the injury.
And I'm not going to say, it's the same old Toronto. They got a new head coach.
Right.
They got a guy off of Popovich tree.
Right.
Who understands systems. I think they're going to be a problem.
The top 4 teams is Toronto, Bucks, Philly, and then I put last Boston in like a distribution.
Right, because they're still Boston, but that's a 4-team race.
So the Lakers have won 5 out of 6, I believe.
5 out of 6 games.
They're 3-0 with Tyson Chandler.
Yeah, Tyson Chandler brings. I didn't know he would be that effective.
Right.
But I did know that the Lakers were small. Right. Once Embiid went out of the game. McGee went out of the game, and McGee is a
raw.
He's raw,
boost energy.
He's goofy good. You know,
right.
he just be all over the place.
Right.
His discipline is not there.
Right.
But he is blocking shots, and he is altering shots.
And Tyson got a big block on Young.
And what he does is he gives you the youth that you need, and then when you close out games, you bring in Tyson Chandler,
right.
who knows how. So they have solidified that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I need a legit guard.
They need a legitimate...
And a legit backcourt at that.
Well, they need a 2-guard, right. They need a legitimate 2-guard. Ingram has been playing that position. I don't think he's fit for that position. So we'll see how that goes. But the Lakers have figured some things out. They barely won last night. The Hawks are 3-10. They're trying to tank. You're not supposed to, in your building, be struggling. So they still have some things to figure out. I think they will.
Right.
LeBron is 1 for 6 for free throws with a minute left in the game so far this season. So psychologically, he's having some issues he needs to address and get better at.
And that's really his only downside.
Yeah, and he hasn't had a signature game in LA yet to me. A game where it's triple-double, 35, 15, and 11, one of them kind of games that they have to win. But they are slowly but surely getting a little bit better.
And it's the West. A lot of Western teams that's in the 1 through 8 are already set. Like they didn't make that many changes.
Right.
The Lakers are the only team that
made all of those kind of changes.
A big player and then 4 other
right. Young players.
I
don't think they make it past the All-Star break, past the trade deadline. I think Anthony Davis, I'm gonna say Anthony Davis has to be on his way to LA. Because the number 2 slot in the West is wide open now. Right. It's wide open, and what you have to do is
Denver holding that slot.
You have to put yourself in position.
Yeah.
You're not going to beat Golden State, but stranger things have happened. So you have to put yourself. And I think if LeBron James makes 9 straight trips to the Western Conference Finals, that is a successful season going into next year. Remember, they have a max spot. They almost have 2 max spots available.
Right. If you count all the other
when you count up all the other stuff and all those 1-year deals that will be coming off the books, the Lakers are in good position, but they should be winning now. And I'm expecting them to get better. It seems like Luke Walton has shortened the rotation a little bit.
Because Lance kind of
you know, and that's important. You can't play 12 guys.
Right.
You got to shorten that rotation to 9 guys.
You guys have about 8 games left or 7 games left. That's kind of winnable.
Yeah. We play under 500 teams for the next 7 games or so. So that should give us.
Yeah, at least got to go 5-2.
Yeah. I always say 25 games in is where I need to go okay. And in 25 games, if they are 17-8,
right.
I go, okay, all right. Now you guys are have something that you can roll, and
Is Houston done? Now
Houston is in a heap of trouble.
We heard some reports coming from our Walsh that Melo is time with Houston is almost done.
It's done. And what I don't appreciate is how do you blame a guy coming off your bench for the reasons that you guys are not winning?
Now,
you guys are deflecting, and that's a bad look.
I did think, and I still do think, Carmelo Anthony did need to retire, but I didn't think he was the reason that they were failing.
Right, I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
The 3 main reasons was they didn't re-sign Abana and Trevor Ariza.
Right,
who are defensively juggernauts.
And defensive coordinator.
And the defensive coordinator left.
So that means you guys. Defensively, they were number 7th last year,
and also too
in defensive efficiency.
On top of that too, once Chris Paul and Capella signed their max contracts, they didn't have that same hunger Because when you're on a 1-year contract, you're gonna play your butt off to get that max contract.
Because I haven't seen any highlights of Capella, who had an amazing year last year. Right. Now they're number 19th in defensive efficiency. They went from number 7 to 19. So that's a huge drop. And you knew Melo wasn't going to fill that void. Right. But I expected him to hit the open jumper. Right. Jeez.
Right. He went 1 for 11 in one of those.
Yeah, Melo, come on. I mean.
And their efficiency is minus like 20 or plus 20 when he's off the court.
And they're saying through the analytics that they have a 20% better chance of winning.
Right. That's what I was talking about.
With him not there.
Right.
So, and because their owner is an analytics guru, so to speak,
and he's.
But it makes me question, why did they bring him in the first place?
Because Melo was supposed to go there last year.
I understand.
Destination wasn't.
But the OKC gave them a snapshot of what his skills were.
True, that's a good point.
So I would have been, and me, I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I said, through his wife, it's Lala, Westbrook. I said maybe he. And that's the reason I thought he was going to L.A.
I saw it in that
because I believe Lala films out in L.A. Right. I said maybe he'll play for the Lakers.
I saw it last year, man, when he was playing with OKC. Even though he had a killer offseason. Yes. The bounce ain't there.
The bounce ain't there. He doesn't defend well.
And we talked about this yesterday, too. From him getting drafted in 2003 to now, he hasn't evolved his game. Right. Like D-Wade and LeBron have. And even a little bit of Chris Paul. Right. They all three, he's the only person in the whole four horsemen that hasn't really evolved his game.
But I still say, I think the Lakers can use him. Now, not right now. When they clear out all them young guys and bring in Anthony Davis. Because you might have to gut the youth to bring Anthony Davis in. I say you put Melo out there in a reserve role. No, you don't start him. You don't start him. Those days are gone. You put him in, and as open as he'll be, because the way LeBron passes, I can say the same thing about Chris Paul. Right. You get in your open shots. If you can't make shots in Houston, I don't know where you can make shots at, because Houston's offense encourages everybody to fire the ball.
Or with LeBron.
Or with LeBron. And that may be this LeBron's way of saying, that's my man, bring him here. Like D-Wade has that kind of clout in Miami to go pack. Just bring Melo here and let him end his career here with me. You know what I mean? Right. Or LeBron.
Also, if y'all sign Melo, can you please give us Michael Beasley?
Yeah, y'all can have Beasley.
Because y'all don't use him. Y'all see him on the bench.
Yeah, he hasn't been doing anything.
Doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah. So what else we got?
Okay, so we had the power rankings. And
give me the power rankings.
So they put the Rockets. the Raptors at 1.
Okay, I would probably say Warriors at 1, but
I think they have right now.
Best record. Okay, and Warriors they beat y'all.
No, the Raptors.
The Raptors didn't beat y'all. Oh, that was Milwaukee. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. The Warriors at 2.
Okay, no problems there.
The Bucks at 3.
That's a surprise, but they earned that.
No, we just said that they were.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's a surprise that they're so high, but they earned it. Yeah.
Trailblazers at 4.
Trailblazers at 4. Okay.
I think they're like 9-4.
Yeah, they're 9-3 or 10-3. Yeah.
Nuggets at 5.
Denver, 9-2.
Yeah, and then Celtics at 6. That's about right.
They I'm surprised they're even that high, but go ahead.
76ers right now at 7, but they'll jump up because they got
Jimmy Butler, right?
Pacers at 8.
Pacers are playing good basketball.
Spurs at 9. That's about right too. They're about 5, and then OKC at 10.
Okay, I can pretty much see that.
Yeah.
I have no problem, give or take one team here and there.
Right.
Other than that,
Lakers are not in this. That's also understandable.
The Lakers are not supposed to be in that right now. They haven't earned that. But coming out of this stretch, if they win 4 or 5 games in a row and hit their stride and their rhythm, I think you'll see them get into the power rankings.
You're listening to the sounds of the Wate, the world according.
We are back onto culture.
No, let's talk baseball.
Baseball, my bad.
In baseball.
Couple of things happening in baseball. Bryce Harper turned down a $300 million 10-year deal with the Washington Nationals.
Wow, that's a lot of money to turn down, bro. I don't care
how bad this team is. I'm signing that contract.
That's a lot of money. Maybe he has a great.
I'm trying to get a World Series.
But my thing is this: maybe his agent knows something that we don't.
Right.
Meaning, his agent know that because there's no salary cap in baseball.
Right, that's true.
So
that's
some
true.
team could.
And also,
him,
the Nationals were gonna try to trade him to the Astros.
Absolutely, that would have been
huge.
That would have been huge. I don't know why they didn't do that. It just didn't pan through.
I think that they thought that contract that they was just offering him was
going to be suffice. No, yeah. I think Nationals are one of those underachieving teams, and he probably wants to be a winner now.
Right.
So they said the Phillies are the team that he's looking at. So then you have Jimmy Butler out there, Bryce Harper.
Yeah, sure.
Golden Tate is out there. Somebody else is out there. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I think also the Cubs.
Oh, if you go to the Cubs, that's gonna be a problem.
That's a championship team that you can
Yeah, absolutely.
Succeed on.
The Yankees don't need him. The Yankees need an ace.
Right. Yeah, pitcher. We already have enough hitters.
I think enough hitters are bound by the Yankees.
We signed Brett and
CC
we signed
back to
CC,
1 year.
Both to 1 year deals.
Yeah, I think that's he wants to retire there. You know.
And
and the Japanese guy Shohei Ohtani wins the Rookie of the Year. Let's clap that up. Yeah.
The AL Rookie of the Year. That's well deserved. He had a killer season.
Yeah, he had a killer season, and he showed the potential of what he could be as an offensive player.
How bad is a Tom John?
That it's not as bad as it used to be. Tommy John injury used to end your career almost, and then Tommy John, the pitcher for the Yankees, came back from it. That's why they named 41. It after him at 41 years old and played well. And now it's sort of like the ACL tear. Right. You can recover from it.
Because he had that surgery. That's why he didn't finish with the year.
Right.
How he was going to do with that.
So I think he will be okay with that.
You're listening to the sounds of the Wate. The world according
now on to culture.
Now on to culture.
We lost a iconic megastar, Stan Lee, at 95.
Yes.
Helped us with all nerdy comic book stuff.
Absolutely. His imprint on the world as we know it will be forever. And we all grew up on him and his team's visions and creations.
Definitely.
And, condolences out to his family. He will be missed, but like you said, his work is done at 95 years old.
Yeah, he lived a long life.
Lived a very long life.
Job. He definitely
and I think enjoying what he does kept him around because
I do know at a certain point in time, comic books was about to be like extinct. Until he kind of worked with a couple other people.
And revised the franchise. And now we have some of the most amazing movies,
which pushed also DC to
into Everybody's had to step their game up, because of Stan Lee's body of work. And the last movie we'll see him in is the Avengers.
Avengers 4 part.
When does that come out?
That comes out. May 5th, right?
May 5th of next year. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
May 5th will be here.
They also said there'll be a 5-year time jump.
Oh, in the movie?
Yeah, which is like kind of crazy that they're gonna have to torture through Thanos's
for 5 years.
For 5 years, that's like a lot. And we still don't even know what. I mean,
well, somebody's got to take that man down.
Yeah, true.
Facts.
Tekashi 6ix9ine's music shoot got shot up.
Him, Kanye, and Nicki were on the shoot.
Yeah.
And I heard Nicki wasn't there.
And
now that some rumors are stating that Cardi B might have had something to do that it was meant for Nicki. I don't think so. I think Tekashi brings a certain level of negative energy that he could be a target wherever he goes.
Right. And the trolling that he does kind of...
Yeah, thankfully nobody was hurt in that situation.
And I believe, doesn't this mess up his probation orders?
I'm not sure because he's not directly involved. You can't control what other people do.
Okay.
So I'll say no on that end.
Right.
But I'm glad nobody was hurt.
Right, yeah, definitely. And they just dropped a new trailer for Toy Story 4.
Did you see the trailer?
Teaser, bad. Teaser, right. It's a little clip it.
Yeah, that's a part of my childhood. Not my childhood, but I used to take Malcolm to see the Toy Story series. And
I believe that this is going to be a good one.
One of my favorites is the Toy Story, though.
Right. And I don't know what this one involves that much because I do know that in the last one, Andy had to give away his toys, right? And you know, so I am excited.
Yes.
Also, Disney, like Hollywood overall, and Disney is running out of ideas.
Yeah, so they're remixing a lot of stuff,
bringing things back,
bringing stuff that they shouldn't be. But Toy Story shit, I hope it doesn't disappoint the way The Incredibles did. The Incredibles was a disappointment.
What?
As long as I waited for it, I expected more. I pushed kids out of the way. Look, lady, move your children. You don't understand what's going on here.
Right.
And it was more of a disappointment.
Right. Okay.
It's now on pay-per-view. We probably can watch it again. Right. Maybe some things we missed.
Right.
Yeah.
Young Thug failed his drug test.
So he's now in jail.
Yeah.
For failing a drug test. He was on probation.
Right.
And that's very hard for these artists to do because that's all they do is get high.
Right. And they're sitting at home as well. Yeah,
when you're sitting at home with nothing to do, and you take a chance and hope that maybe you won't get tested, but you did. How much time does he have to do? Do we know?
No.
Okay.
There's stuff like next week.
Okay, so maybe he'll have some good lawyers in there.
And California had a huge fire.
Yeah, our condolences out to all of the families. A certain amount of people have died. I don't know what the toll is right now.
Right.
From these fires, and then it's not just the fires; it's the smoke that leads into other towns, and the smoke becomes toxic.
Right.
So a lot of times we focus just on the fire itself, but in reality, it's the fire and fire-related situations.
And the way that the way that it's kind of structured. California, I'm talking about, it's a lot easier for it to like compared to like New York. Or,
very Florida. Hot.
Yeah,
and
it rarely rains.
Very rain, so them spark fires could start up.
Definitely.
And your home could be.
But yeah, just be safe out there. Condolences.
You are listening to the sounds of the Wate. The world according
All right, let's get into these week's picks.
Let's get a pen, Malcolm, please. Maybe on the table.
Yeah.
The score right now is 88-83.
Yeah.
With a chance for you to cut in.
Right, and still be down by 5.
And still only be down by 5, or you could be down by 7. It's just that simple. You're down 6 right now. Yeah. You could be down by 7 or down by 5.
Sometimes when you do your math, it throws me off. But
So, do your thing. I have the... Who do I have? The Giants tonight, and you have Tampa Bay?
I have the Giants, and no, you have the Giants. I have the 49ers.
Excuse me. Okay, so as we move into week 11, it's getting kind of close.
Oh, also the bet will be what is it?
The George Jefferson haircut.
Yeah.
For those who are my age, it's bald at the top, hair around the sides.
Right.
So the loser will have to have the George Jefferson haircut.
And how did you get that?
And get on the show because as I was getting a haircut recently, the barber cut the top of my hair off first and left the sides.
Right.
And I said, "That's the bet right there."
Right.
So we will. We're getting close. So you have to begin to really take your time.
I still got 7 weeks, man.
Yeah, but you're down by 5 right now. Could be as many as
7.
No, No, you're down. You're down 6 right now.
Right, I'm down at 6.
You could be down 7 or down 5, which is a comfortable lead.
Right.
Not an insurmountable lead, but a comfortable lead.
Right.
So Thursday night game, the Packers will visit the Seahawks. This is always a good game.
Who you got?
I am going to take the Seahawks in this one.
Okay.
I don't think the Packers have a chance to make the playoffs, but they could make that little run.
All right, I'm taking the Packers. Give me that back.
Taking the Packers, you want that? Okay. On the road. All right. Bengals and Ravens, division rivals. Bengals just fired their defensive coordinator.
Awesome, yeah. How much credit?
Ravens, I don't know.
How much? How well do you think Marvin Lewis is going to do with the defense?
I'm not sure, but he's not ever getting fired, so I'm not sure he even cares.
Yeah. Give me the Bengals.
You take the Bengals in this one?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to take the Ravens in this one. I'll take the Ravens. Cowboys at the Falcons.
Cowboys coming off a win. They're 1-1 right now.
I'm going to take the Falcons in this one. I don't think the Cowboys game is going to travel.
Okay, but I'm not confident with the Falcons right now. Give me the Cowboys.
You take the Cowboys, that's a disaster on your part.
They just won.
Yeah, whatever.
And it's the Falcons. We just talked about the Falcons.
But they go in and out. All
right, don't say that. We don't got time. We run out.
Buccaneers, Giants.
Buccaneers. I don't trust.
Okay, you take the Bucks. I too will take the Bucks.
All right, thank you. Don't go too far.
Steelers, Jaguars.
Who you got?
I got the Steelers.
Yeah, same.
If it ain't broke, I ain't gonna fix it. I think they're gonna get the job done.
Yeah.
The Texans are going against the Redskins.
Texans.
You got the Texans in this one?
Mm-hmm.
I too have the Texans in this one. I'm not sure the Redskins are who they say they are.
Yep, next one.
They are who they say they are, and we let them off the hook.
All right.
Titans versus the Colts. The Colts been playing a little bit better. Titans coming off their Super Bowl win against the Patriots.
Okay, yeah, I'm about to say what? Give me Titans.
You take the Titans. I'll take the Colts in this one at home. Panthers, Lions. Panthers got smoked.
Lions lost too.
Panthers have 10 days rest.
That's right. Give me the Panthers.
You take the Panthers. I'll take the Lions.
This week is looking good. I'm confident in my picks this year. Give me this week.
Broncos at the Chargers.
Chargers.
You got the Chargers. I'm going to take the Broncos. Mainly because it's a defensive.
Why are you picking so many separate teams?
Let me tell you why. It's a division rivalry. I don't care what the records are with these teams. These division rivalries can get it done.
But that doesn't always apply.
No, it doesn't always. Doesn't always.
Rivalry though.
So I gave you a win. You should be thankful. If you think it was that easy, you got to win.
But like we already got 8 separate ones. Go ahead.
Are you getting scared?
You're just doing too much.
Are you getting scared? Is what I'm asking. Are you afraid? Are you afraid?
You're doing too much, my guy.
Are you afraid? Keep wanting me to pick the same teams that you do because you're afraid. Raiders, Cardinals. Both of these teams suck. The Cardinals are at home.
Who you got?
I'm going to take the Cardinals because I think the Raiders are purposely tanking.
Give me the same thing.
Right? Eagles at the Saints. Yeah.
Saints.
I'm not going to play with that. Saints getting that done. Vikings at the Bears.
Vikings at the Bears.
Bears.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to take the Vikings.
All right, guys. I clicked that off.
Right? And the Chiefs at the Rams.
Who you got?
I'm going to take the Chiefs.
Okay, yeah, same here.
All right, Chiefs. We both take the Chiefs.
Chiefs.
And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games.
Right.
Head to head. That ain't too bad.
That is bad, but go ahead.
7 games. Head to head. So where can we be reached?
We can be reached on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube. Follow me on my Snapchat. Follow me all at the Wate Podcast, all one word. And I'm your host, Eli.
And I'm Dad.
All right,
and we're out of here.
Next week.
See you next week for more music, sports, video games, and culture. We are out.
You are now tuned into the #1 podcast in the world, The Wate, the world according to Eli. Music, sports, video games, and culture. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the host of our show, Mr.